Now listen here. So we will be discussing the sources as well as functions of the following minerals. 5 minerals are the iron, calcium, iodine, potassium and sodium. To start with, we will take with the iron. As you can see that there are different categories of iron. One is heme iron, which we are mainly getting from red meat. Then liver, kidney, poultry, fish. These are some. Heme iron means hemoglobin type of iron. That is the heme iron. Then other type of non-heme type irons are there, which are not directly hemoglobin type. There include spinach, chira, then amaranthus, it's also chira type organ. Then beans and peas. These are the vegetables which are giving it. Then most of the nuts, especially almond, cashew, pumpkin seeds, because of the eating seeds is an important thing, because in Kerala we are not used to eating lot of seeds, because seeds and nuts are very expensive here, especially almond, cashew, whatever is. Purchasing them is always very expensive. But if you go to colder countries like Kashmir or Himalayan regions, people there always eat a lot of seeds and nuts, because this almond and other thing are actually very good for both your body, skin, heart, etc., and for the functioning of brain. So if possible, try to include a small quantity of these kind of seeds like almond, cashew and also dates, etc. They are good for your stomach also. Then whole grains, millets, brown rice, so they can also give little bit iron. Then iron fortified cereals also are nowadays available. Now coming to the functions, here you can see that without iron, because the hemoglobin, in the center of the hemoglobin there is an iron. So if there is no iron mineral in our body, there is no proper formation of hemoglobin. So for the development of hemoglobin, iron is very much necessary. Then also for the myoglobin, just like hemoglobin, myoglobin is also a pigment, and for that pigment also we need iron. Then needed for the production of ATP in mitochondria, that is another function of the iron. So ATP is the energy currency of the body. If there is no ATP synthesis, most of the cells and tissues may not be able to work. So they are giving their ATP. For example, our muscle is undergoing contraction because of the ATP is produced by the cells. So ATP is needed. Then for immune cell development also iron is needed. So this is another function. So in the presence of iron prevents anemia. Anemia mainly means less amount of hemoglobin. So if there is sufficient quantity of iron, more normal level of hemoglobin will be maintained by our body, and that will be useful. So if there is a shortage of iron, that means shortage of deficiency of hemoglobin, that will lead to anemia as well as fatigue. Then it helps in brain development, cognitive development, your intelligence, all these will be directly related with somehow controlled by the amount of iron. So deficiency of iron can also affect the development of brain functioning as well as intelligence. The next is mineral is the calcium. Here you can see what are the main sources of calcium. So these 5 are the main minerals, for example iron, calcium, potassium, sodium and iodine. These are the main minerals which are needed by the body in comparatively higher quantities. And there are also so many other minerals, but these 5 minerals are very important. So coming to the calcium, you can see the dairy, milk products, curd, cheese, etc., paneer, etc. All these will be containing calcium. Then vegetable like broccoli, kali and cauliflower, they are also containing, I don't know what is this kali they are meaning. Then ragi and soya products, that will be also containing enough amount of calcium. Then sesame seeds, chia seeds, almond, these are all nowadays available in the market. Then fish with the bones, sardine, for example if you are frying sardine, eating that bones will be useful for increasing the amount of calcium. Anchovies, pulva like or fish, and they will be also good for improving the amount of calcium available for your body. Then calcium fortified juices and cereals are also there. So these are some important sources of calcium. And coming to the function of the calcium, one is structural component of bones and teeth. So if there is no calcium, your bones will not. For example, in case of bones, there is a situation known as osteoporosis. So in osteoporosis, what is happening is that the bones become very soft and they break very fast. So for example, there are in an old age, if there is a fracture at your hip bone fracture is one of the most dangerous type of fracture, and that will make the person unable to move. So that is the problem with the fracture at an old age. So calcium deficiency during old age is very severe, and it can make the person unable to walk also. So that is the problem of this calcium deficiency, which will be leading to osteoporosis, means bones become soft and brittle and they fracture very fast. Then required for muscle contraction, because the contraction of muscle will not occur if there is a shortage of calcium. It is the calcium that is causing the trigger. The calcium ions are the mainly responsible for starting of muscle contraction. So in the absence of calcium ions, there will not be any muscle contraction. Then also for essential for blood clotting, calcium is very much needed. Then another is the nerve impulse transmission, that is also under the control of calcium. So calcium is very important for muscle contraction as well as nerve transport or transport of nerve messages. Then hormone functioning as well as enzyme functioning. Also calcium is an important mineral. Then heart rhythm and cell membrane stability. This is also some of the other important functions of calcium. So this is the second mineral. Now we go to another mineral, that is iodine. Now iodine is not normally available in most of the food products. That is why government has introduced a practice called iodized salt. Because salt is something every home requires. Without salt we won't be able to prepare any kind of curry. In every curry we will be putting little bit salt to improve the taste. So if iodine is introduced into the salt, that will become available to all the people, rich or poor people. So that is why government has started introducing, combining salt with iodine, and we now get only iodized salt. Then marine foods, fish, shrimp, seaweed. Many of the earlier what was the case is that people who are living near coastal area, and we are mainly feeding fish, they get a lot of iodine. But people in the inland area, especially in the mountain region, they are unable to get sufficient quantity of fish, and they were suffering from iodine deficiency, and there are a lot of cases of goiter during that time. Nowadays goiter has decreased a lot because of this iodized salt. Eggs, milk and curd, that will be also containing little bit iodine. Then vegetables growing in iodine rich soil. So normally most of the vegetables will not be containing iodine. So main source of iodine are seafood like fish or seaweed, etc. Then second most available is so best source here is eating iodized salt. Now what are the functions of iodine? Coming to the function of the iodine, we have the two hormones produced by our thyroid. That is, one is for triiodothyronine T3 and thyroxine T4. These are the, because triiodothyronine contain 3 iodine molecule, thyroxine contain 4 iodine molecule. These are the two important hormones produced by thyroid gland, which is mainly located in your neck. And their function is that they are very important, because if there is, thyroid is one of the most important gland in our body. If there is any malfunctioning, if either the production of thyroxine or triiodothyronine is more or less, in both cases it can affect almost your entire body. So your body temperature, metabolism are all dependent on thyroxine production. Then essential for fetal brain and nervous development. So during the time of childbirth, the proper development of the brain of the child will be happening only if there is sufficient amount of iodine. Then for the growth and reproductive health. For example, if there is a deficiency of thyroxine in women, that will be affecting their reproductive periods. So there will not be any periods if there is deficiency of thyroxine. So that is also an important problem. Then prevents goiter and hypothyroidism. So this is also an important, because goiter means during that time, I told you, if you go back to 30 or 40 years of back, many people are having this neck swelling, and that is known as a goiter, and that is an adaptation by the body to produce sufficient amount of iodine because of shortage of iodine. So so that situation leads to neck enlargement known as goiter, and also hypothyroidism, less amount of thyroxine. So this is regarding the third mineral. Then going to the fourth one, which is the potassium. Coming to potassium, the best source of potassium is banana. Banana and fruits are the best sources of potassium, especially what we call ethapadam. Ethapadam is very much rich in potassium. Eating at the daily one ethapadam is always very good, because one thing that we miss when we move out of Kerala is that if you go to North India, or if you go to any country outside India, you will get only one type of banana. You know what is that? Robust banana. Other than robust banana, no other type of variety of banana will be available in most of the countries. I don't know what is the case in South America, but you go to Europe, America, any part of South Asia, China, Australia, you are not going to get our normal, most of the banana like Palayam Golden Badam, then Nyalipuvan, all these variety we will highly miss. Only this robust banana, which we don't like very much, because it will get spoiled very easily, and is also not. And this robust banana that we get in Australia, Europe, etc., are not also very good than the chingambada that we are getting here. It has much more better taste than the robust banana. So now what we are seeing in the use of this. So what I was mentioning is that potassium is a very important thing. Importance of potassium, I will tell you when I am mentioning the function. Then vegetables, potato, tomato, spinach, beetroot, etc. are rich in potassium. Coconut water. That is why when people are having some kind of stomach problem, people ask you to drink potassium, because the coconut water or karik, the water that we are taking from karik, is actually rich in potassium. So that will be helping to replenish or the lost amount of potassium and other minerals which have been lost from your body. For example, during a diarrhea or during a vomiting, lot of water will be lost from your body. Along with the water, it means loss of minerals also. So drinking karik juice or this coconut water is actually replenishing your lost minerals quickly. Then legumes like beans, lentils, etc., and milk products, dairy products are also rich in potassium. Then coming to the function, it is an important intracellular electrolyte. Intracellular, within the cell. Within the cell there are, they are maintaining the normal sodium potassium level of the body, maintains the fluid and electrolyte balance. So that is an also important function of that. Then regulates heartbeat and muscle contraction. Now one important function of potassium is that if the amount of sodium in your body is increasing, that will be increasing your blood pressure. But on the other hand, if the amount of potassium is increasing, that will be reducing your blood pressure. So at older age, most of the people will be having some level of blood pressure, because our body is getting weak, our heart is not working very efficiently, your blood vessels become weak. So blood pressure problem is a common problem for many of the people. So people who are taking enough amount of potassium rich food like banana daily, 2-3 banana daily, that will be improving their potassium level. So that is one important advantage of taking one banana may not be sufficient. We have to take minimum 3 or 4 banana daily, then only enough amount of potassium we will get. Then for the nerve impulse conduction, transportation of messages through nerves. For that also potassium, you might have studied about that a nerve will be containing inside potassium, outside sodium, and for that transport mechanism to work smoothly, potassium should be present in the body in sufficient quantity. See here, the helps control blood pressure by counteracting the sodium. More sodium, higher blood pressure. More potassium, lower blood pressure. That is the then maintaining the base of acid-base balance in the body. That is also another function of the potassium. Then we have sodium. Sodium is mostly table salt, sea salt, rock salt. Then most of the processed food items will be containing sodium. Most of the pickle sauces, etc. will be then many of the cheese, bread, and salted snack. So many salt biscuits are there. They are also available. Then meat which is cured with the salt. There are fish which is cured with the salt. So all this will be containing some kind of sodium. Sodium is the most common type of preservative salt. Then among the functions of sodium, as in the case of potassium, here also it is a extracellular electrolyte. Here in the case of potassium it is within the cell, whereas in case of sodium it is extracellular electrolyte outside the cell, and also for maintaining the proper level of water or fluid balance and plasma volume. How much amount of water should be there? So one important thing about the sodium is that if the amount of sodium in your body increases, the body will be taking more water, retaining more water in your body, or especially in your blood. So more sodium, more water in the blood, and that will result in more pressure in the blood. So this is how it is rated. More sodium, more water in the blood, more blood pressure. So that is how the things are happening. Then necessary for nerve impulse transmission, as I have already said, because sodium and potassium are two important minerals important for transport of nerve messages, and for muscle contraction. Also we need sodium in lot of then acid-base equilibrium. So another is important for blood pressure regulation. So these are some of the important functions of sodium. So sodium and potassium are mainly responsible for maintaining the blood pressure and also for acid-base balance and also for the smooth working of your nerves. So these are some of the important functions of the 5 different type of minerals. So you can expect either the sources of minerals or you can expect the functions of these different minerals.